Hey Dunchbags, what's going on? It's Landon Remixes here, and today I'm going to be doing a discussion video on this new LP from Borgore, The Art of Gore. Now, Borgore is an artist who I don't really cover all that often. I don't think I've ever reviewed any of his albums or EPs outside of my rapid fire review series, and as usual, I didn't really plan on covering this new album either. That is until I watched the newest Extra Naughties video from my good friend Connor, who you might know better as Naughty Step, where he pretty much just tore the album apart, calling it out for being atrocious and misogynistic, going as far as to call The Art of Gore the worst album of the year. Needless to say, I was taken aback a bit by his comments on The Art of Gore specifically, because at least to me, those kind of elements have always been core to Borgore's brand and his sound. At least for me, Borgore has never been the type of artist that I listen to when I want to hear like a sick bass music banger or something like that. It's more the type of music that I'd listen to if I want to hear something that's over the top, if I want to get a cheap laugh with some cringy lyrics and not so great production. With exception to his jazz album Adventures in Time, which I honestly thought was a decent listen, Borgore's music has always come across to me as more comedic than serious. Have never really thought it was something worth critically analyzing because, like I said, to me it's pretty much just a cheap laugh. So of course when I saw Connor's rather harsh critique of the album, I decided to DM him and we had a pretty lengthy conversation about whether this project was a joke or not. Ultimately, I couldn't really convince Connor to see things my way, and I couldn't really see things his way either, so I thought I'd do a video to kind of open the floor up to you guys. Now, firstly, I'm going to briefly go over my interpretation of the album, why I think it's more satire than serious. Ultimately, I'm going to try to convince you guys that Borgore is essentially a parody or satire project, and you're more than welcome to disagree with me and keep listening to Borgore seriously or anything like that. It's, I can't tell you what to do. More than anything though, I just want to open this door to discussion, get people kind of thinking different ways about this music. I honestly, before I saw that video from Naughty Step, did not realize that people seriously listen to Borgore. I can't really say I've ever listened to Borgore in a non-ironic kind of sense, so it's a very interesting topic for me. So in my interpretation, first and foremost, I think it's important to establish that in my opinion, Borgore's music has always been somewhat of a parody. I mean, think back into the early days of his career with Borgore Ruined Dubstep, songs that are just straight up pointless like Decisions or over-the-top sexual like Syrup. I believe that all of this kind of weaves together to create this character, Borgore, who essentially personifies the butt of the EDM scene. Sex, drugs, money, cake, lazily crafted music. To me, Borgore is really a project that lets people inside the EDM scene really see what people outside kind of view us as. They don't see the artistry, the intricacies, the passion, and the emotion that goes into the music. And therefore, the Borgore project, simply put, lacks all of that. I think very little to none of his music has been made with any kind of serious intent. Even Adventures in Time, I think, could be somewhat parodical, if that's a word. Possibly making a joke about how so many artists in the EDM scene, let's use Porter Robinson as an example, kind of drop the bangers to pursue a more artsy avenue. Getting into The Art of Gore, though, I think it's a little bit of a different album in that it's a bit more straightforward about its intentions. A lot of songs on The Art of Gore do have that hint of signature Borgore comedy, though I think it's a little bit more obvious. But then other songs have a more serious edge to them. Take the album's opener, Goat, for example, which starts off as a kind of braggadocious rap and then develops into a more serious critique of society in the digital age. You've got songs like Choke Me, which are even more over-the-top sexual than Syrup. It's like so disgusting that when you listen to it, you can't help but think this has to be a joke. Surely this can't be serious. You've got Petty, which seems to be a parody and a commentary of modern Instagram culture. Bless, to me, seems to be a straight-up parody of Deep Down Low by Valentino Khan, and maybe other bass house music as well, which is just centric about butts. Except Bless is a little bit more ridiculous, a little bit more over the top, really makes you think about what exactly these bass house songs are talking about. And while we're on that subject, I think The Art of Gore overall is a parody about where bass music is right now. As I said earlier in this video, Borgore himself kind of becomes the butt of the joke because really the sonic direction of this album is kind of the worst of the worst when it comes to bass music, the most simplistic, the worst and most atrocious sounding derivative of whatever subgenre he's going for. It's all just so terrible that I literally cannot help but think that this project was not made with any kind of serious intent. Overall, to me, The Art of Gore seems to be the project where Borgore is finally just saying, like, here it is straight up, like it's all a parody, it's all a joke, you don't have to take this music seriously at this point. Of course, if it does somehow come out that this project was made with completely serious intent, I'll eat my words, but it just seems too obvious at this point. Like, if you didn't think Borgore was a joke prior, The Art of Gore should definitely push you over the edge. Another point that I have toward this theory is that I have been literally told by other insiders in the music industry that Borgore is in fact just a persona, and maybe that's obvious enough. Maybe people get that it's a persona, but then unironically enjoy the music anyway. I think one common counterpoint is going to be, but Borgore made this banger, so obviously it can't be a joke. And I'd say you probably have to look deeper into the context of the specific song, try to understand what it's trying to personify or make fun of. For example, I think Borgore's recent single with Benda, Camo Diamond Rolly, is a pretty decent banger, but I also think that it's likely making fun of the fact that so many different producers in bass music are trying to sound just like Company, or take Unicorn Zombie Apocalypse, which is a pretty well put together Big Room song, but is likely making fun of the tropes of Big Room at the time that the song released. Connor also brought up the point of ghost producers. If I remember correctly, he was saying his older music sounded better because he had a ghost producer, and now it sounds awful and isn't supposed to be a parody because he's producing it himself. And to that, you know, I'd say, like, it doesn't matter whether or not he has a ghost producer. You can personify a character while having a ghost producer in the midst of it. Take Bear Grylls for an example. Back before that was a serious project, it was a parody with a ghost producer. Overall, though, I don't think either of those arguments really point to The Art of Gore being less of a joke. But yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, I want to open the floor to discussion. I want you guys to give your thoughts down in the comment section, reply to each other, talk to each other. Let's just get this conversation started. I'm definitely open to hearing some other takes from other people, other kinds of interpretations, what exactly you think Borgore could be if not a parody. I might be apt to do a follow-up video if I get enough interesting replies, so definitely give me some well thought out comments. Of course, if you haven't listened to the album yet and want to formulate your own opinion or theory on it, I'm going to have the Spotify link down in the description below. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, leave me a like. Anyway, I'm Landon Remixes, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.